Mike's Daily Podcast.
Welcome to Cafe Anyway. I am Mike Matthews, your host here at the Cafe Anyway at the last place on earth on Mike's Daily Podcast, broadcasting from Podcastro Valley, Mont, the Bay Area. Yes, Hayward is the heart of the Bay. It's the name they give it, and I live next to Hayward, and I have issues with Hayward because they sent some guy over who, well, actually, I've been saying that.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
But it was the Alameda Community Project people that did it, so maybe it's Alameda County people that I have to be mad at.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
But they sent me a letter a couple weeks ago saying that I had to clean up my front lawn, and they only gave me 3 days to do it, and then I had to do it all by myself. And I said, I'm going to do this, so screw it. And then I was thinking later, hey, they probably wanted me to use one of their gardening people. I wonder if there were gardening people that they would promote that were like giving them a little kickback. It's all corrupt.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
But I love the Bay Area. Did I tell you that? Even though it's uber expensive and everybody's driving Ubers and Lyfts
Mike's
to try and make ends meet.
Daily
It's a wonderful place.
Podcast.
A pressure cooker of happiness.
Yeah.
Where you've got these tycoons running these high, big tech companies. And they have huge egos. So big, in fact, that they have lied to us. And the truth is coming out. It always comes out. You can fool some of the people some of the time. You can't fool all the people all the time. And there's a person walking in right now at Cafe Anyway, and I'm going to say hi to them today because it's a wonderful Friday. And a bunch of people liked my... Oh, I was about to say on Facebook, and that's what I'm talking about. Facebook issues. Let's say hi to someone who walked in. Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Shelly Stewart, gift shop supervisor. I don't like Facebook. I like Instagram. Same people. Look who else walked in. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd, the floor man. And this is John Deere, the engineering. Yes, in fact, they are all owned by the same people. Twitter, however, is not owned by Facebook. Those are different people. Mm-hmm. Yes, Twitter. Which you can find me at Mike Talks on Twitter. I grabbed that Twitter handle back in 2009 because I thought, hey, it's simple. It says what I do. I can't use my name because some idiot took it. No one would find me because they'd probably misspell my last name anyway. I have 2 T's. 2 T's.
And here's today's podcast picture.
2 T's or not to T's? That's a question. The podcast picture today is going to be fantastic. I'll tell you about it in a moment. Mark Zuckerberg Basil. Oh, we went to a field. And before I get to that, I went to a field yesterday. A field of dreams. Oh. And Mark Zuckerberg said to me,
we have a basic responsibility to protect people's data. And if we can't do that, then we don't deserve to have the opportunity to serve people.
It was a field of dreams, as I say, 2 topics at the same time. Basil ran on this field of dreams. He was quite happy. When he is on grass, it's like he's a little puppy again. He can run and run around, and we ran back and forth. And it was dark. We were just seeing the ground by the light of the nearby school. A little bit of light was on, and it was just a fun evening, and I'll never forget it. It was wonderful. It made me want to sing a song about a baby shark.
The new national anthem will be Baby Shark do 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 do, Grandma Shark do 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 do, Evil Shark do 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 do.
No, make it stop. Back to the show. So Mark Zuckerberg apparently So the latest, I hate starting sentences with so, because that's what Mark Zuckerberg does.
We have a basic responsibility to protect people's data. And if we can't do that, then we don't deserve to have the opportunity to serve people.
I chopped out the so. He probably started that sentence with so. So, an awesome Peter Gabriel album. Big influence on me. So there's this thing about Definer's Public Affairs company that Facebook employed to generate propaganda, good words for Facebook and anti-words against people like Tim Cook.
Something that's magical and enriches people in some way.
Enriches people in some way. And I'm Tim Cook, Mike. I walked into Cafe Anyway. And I wanted to tell you that I really hate Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, he's a nice little guy with his hoodie. But he's created this monster. And Apple would never do these things to the people of America. I mean, people have got to realize that this is an evil, evil man. The man who started Facebook.
Drop the just Facebook.
And that's all I have to say. I have to leave. Thank you, Tim Cook. Tim Cook, you are the nicest guy ever. I hate Apple stuff, but I love you. Bring the prices down and maybe I'll like you. I did buy one of your phones long ago. There was a deal at Best Buy. I got it. But still, your stuff is too expensive. This is coming from a guy that makes no money off of his podcast. How do I even survive in the Bay Area? It's tough, my friend. It's not evil. It's not easy, I meant. It's evil. It's Dr. Evil.
The new national anthem will be Baby Shark.
He said this other thing when Mike Myers recently revisited the Dr. Evil character on Jimmy Fallon. He said this. I had to pull this. Listen.
Poppy needs that sticky icky for his glaucoma. Yeah.
Because the marijuana business is getting so big. Yeah. That's right.
All right.
So yeah, Facebook had this network, the NTK network. I pulled all this from the wonderful New York Times podcast that I love so much called The Daily. And let's see, I'm going to just show you.
More and more Republicans in Congress saying it's a witch hunt. So now all of a sudden, Facebook is finding evidence that in fact it's not a witch hunt. And all that can do is throw them on the wrong side of power in Washington with a party that already thinks they're a bunch of liberals and hippies on the West Coast.
Yeah, the Russians. So the Russians, they helped get Mr. Trump elected.
America elected Donald Trump. And yeah, the Russians helped.
Let's see. So this wonderful podcast discusses how in the early days, Alan, what was his name? Moss? Somebody.
And how they responded. Mark Zuckerberg, he's so closely associated with Facebook. It's his baby. Every time he talks about it, he talks about how he started it in his dorm room.
Right. Oh, I know. I can't take that anymore when he does that. Is so
1% losing $36 billion in shareholder value.
That happened this year. Remember that? When Zuckerberg lost like billions in one day. Wasn't that fun?
Basically kind of a pointed jibe at Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, yeah, that was Tim Cook. Pointed. He throws the jibes. He was just here. Did you hear him? He was here at Cafe Anyway. It was wonderful.
Exactly.
I think what's interesting here is it's not that these tactics are so completely unusual. Like the world's a hard place and Washington's a tough place. Mm-hmm. But Facebook had held itself out, like Google, like Twitter, as this different kind of company. It was even in their securities filings. Like we exist to bring people together.
Right, baby photos, bar mitzvahs, weddings, like community building.
Yeah, and so in some ways they set themselves up as a different kind of company. And what they're showing now is they're just like every other big company.
That's the point, though, it's takeaway from that podcast today. And that guy, I forget who that reporter is. Give me a second. I might be able to find out with my computer apparatus. Let's see. Nicholas Confessore. Oh, what a beautiful Italian name. Nicholas Confessore. And Shira Frankel. Yeah, it's a good name, too. Frankel. I've never seen the last name Frankel. I've seen Franken, not Frankel. Interesting. I wonder what the genealogy, what the background is of that name. Anyway, those two reporters found out all this information, and they really dig into how Facebook hid all this information. They knew. Their head of security, was telling them, hey, we're seeing these Russian bots and stuff. They're like, shh, don't, not so loud. Russian bots, no, don't say trolls. Don't say troll farms. 2018, who would have thought we live in a world of troll farms? It's like we've gone back to the J.R.R. Tolkien era. We've gone back to, British countryside. Yes, my liege. Yes, my lord. Oh, there's a troll farm over there. Watch out, my lord. Excalibur. Pulling from your stone. And Mike does accents. So, here's what I wanted to say to you. And not say, the point is, because if I do that, I get one of these. I have said now, for almost 10 years, how much I hate Facebook. Even though I use Facebook and I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/MikeTalks, just like with the Twitter. I know it is a necessary evil for someone trying to promote his own thing. My thing being Mike's Daily Podcast, Mike's-DailyPodcast.com. You can go and help out the show and be part of the show and see all the past podcast pictures. And I'm getting to the podcast picture. Leave me alone. I'm getting to it. Holy crap. It's like a pressure cooker in here. And the thing is, Facebook is, though, used wrongly by people who go on it, and they're posting and they're loving Facebook. And I remember after seeing Social Network, I posted on Facebook, wow, I don't think I agree with everything that Mark Zuckerberg did on his way to the top. And somebody immediately defended him. Like they were employed by Mark Zuckerberg himself, but they were just some person out in Ventura somewhere that I went to high school with. And she defends Mark Zuckerberg and says, no, you don't understand. He's done a lot. I'm very impressed by him. He's best. And, just defended him. And I'm like, okay, I guess Facebook's here to stay because apparently Mark Zuckerberg cannot do any wrong. And he's going to be around a long time. So people were buying stock in the company, and the stock has been going down quite a bit this year. It has not been a good year. And my point is that I don't have a podcast picture. I'll get to that in a minute. But the other thing was about the town of Paradise and the people missing. They don't know the whereabouts. Jumped up to like 600 last night. The death toll went up to, I think, 60. And I might have my numbers wrong. And then also that some people actually fled the fire and didn't contact anyone. Which I don't know if that's a California thing, because they were talking about on NPR how somebody drove from Paradise all the way to San Francisco to stay with a friend there and didn't think to call anybody back in the Paradise area. So I don't know if it was a huge fire. It just happened basically within the past week, and it caused such confusion. I mean, it's just like as big as like a bomb going off. And you can imagine that people just don't quite, they're still confused and muddled and can't quite get back to, but you would think, though, with all the publicity, and if they would have just sat down and watched the news or something, that, oh, wait, people are trying to check in on me. I should get back to it. So, but hopefully, that is basically the show today. I wanted to tell you about how I feel. Oh, they also brought up on this Facebook thing, the Upton Sinclair, the author that exposed, like they're having an Upton Sinclair moment where now we're getting to see behind the scenes of Facebook, this company that grew so fast. And when people see what they do to try and stay at the top, they're not going to like it. I mean, I'm not going to convince you. If you love Facebook, you're with Facebook. You're never going to leave. I understand. And I'm with Facebook because I use it to promote my show. At any rate, there was this other guy that does a conservative talk show, and he said some things about the recount in Florida. And let me see if I can find it.
Go-to shirt, untuck it.
Untuck your shirt. Yeah, this is the guy that swallows his lip.
Show in the Relief Factor.
Oh, Relief Factor. This is the old man's network, Relief Factor Studio. Because you're always in pain and you need to take this medicine, snake oil.
We're in this caravan. I cannot be the only person with this observation. And my observation is every time they show video of the people in this caravan, I never see elderly people or women and children. All I see are 20-something-year-old men.
Okay, I wasn't even going to talk about that, but yeah. How come there's no old people walking thousands and thousands of miles? You would think there'd be old people. The other thing is going on with this recount. I wanted to talk about that and Florida and an issue that's becoming more and more prevalent, and that is the signature matching. They have to match the signature to make sure between, what you have like on the back of your driver's license and what you wrote on your ballot. And if they don't match, voila, the ballot is discarded. And so this happens mostly with younger people. And they brought up the point on NPR this morning. I know, liberal leaning, but is it as conservative leaning as like an idiot that swallows his lip?
You're not going to see discounts this big again all year.
They're just telling you these, spouting off these. Okay.
Michelin Premium Wiper Blade.
Where is it? Where is it? He said the thing.
November 22nd.
No, that's not it. Here it is.
These dueling lawsuits. Bill Nelson suing. Rick Scott suing. They run to the courts to try to figure out a way to right this wrong. Here's Pam Bondi last night on Fox News. Video and audio courtesy of Grabian. Cut 3.
I laid out in my letter why we do believe there's plenty of reasonable suspicion for criminal activity, and that investigation will continue.
This guy, this conservative talk show host, believes that Democrats, whenever there's a recount, Democrats benefit from it. And then, of course, you go 2000, the Democrats benefited from that. There was a Republican president for the next 8 years. Hello.
Criminal activity. Criminal activity. You understand, laws are being broken here in Florida every day. I've been talking to people here in the Tampa Bay.
How do you know that, MG? How do you freaking know that? He acts like he knows that all the laws are being broken. And when you present that in the equation, you only make things worse. It's like he says he's a patriot, and all he's doing is stirring up the pot to the fact that the democracy falls apart with this vitriol goes nowhere that he's spouting. I hate that. Okay, back to the signature thing, however. They are trying to, in Florida, match the signatures and make sure that... So people that get thrown out, their ballots that get thrown out, are the millennials. And it sucks. So young voters that are trying to go vote, who people like me have been screaming his heads off, trying to tell them, you've got to vote. And a lot of them don't, despite what I plead with them to vote. And they still don't go vote. And then they vent about it on Facebook. Why didn't I vote? I hate the fact that there's this orange guy in office, blah, blah, blah. But and yet their votes aren't getting counted because the signatures change, remember? I remember I drew my M a different way in my signature in like the early days of college. By the end of college, I was doing it a completely different way. And it's such the difference. Anyway, that's a big thing. And NPR did a little bit of an investigation about it. But this guy, he irritates the crap out of me.
People are saying, this is what we do. This happens all the time. They don't obey the laws here. They cheat.
No, they don't say that. Stop it. He's only saying that to make the Republican fan base that he's got, to placate to them. He's just so... I'm not saying who he is. I'm not going to say his name, but he is nationally known, and he's quite popular, and I've met him. He's a decent guy. He wanted me to go out and get us all Egg McMuffins, I think with my own money, when he was here broadcasting. But it just, that is so, you know, you've got a very, you're a popular guy. Maybe this is why you're popular, is because you placate to this lowest common denominator idiocy, when any rational person on either side of the political spectrum would say, wait a minute, you can't go saying that. You can't go undermining what makes democracy an election. You're basically saying don't go out and vote in Florida. What do the Floridians think about what you're saying? As we go outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. I'm going to tell you what the podcast picture is post-show, but I would like to tell you to have a great weekend. This is the last week of my 40s. I can't believe my 40s are going to disappear by next Thursday. So, with that being said, my 40s were an interesting time. I didn't get married in my 40s, but I got divorced in my 40s. I went through a very dark time in my 40s, I'll be honest with you. I went through a time where I felt like a hermit. I felt like on the outside of society. I felt just, you know, no one cared. I felt that way. And I know a lot of people who get in their 40s, that is definitely a feeling you get. I mean, you can get that in any age, in any decade. And to that, I say, you are important. And there are people that love you. And I know that's a cliche, but it's true. Someone loves you. And I know people don't really show it. And they get wrapped up in their worlds and their lives and things that are important to them. But you are loved, and I know that's a cliche, and that churches say that, but it's true. And I'm not going to say Jesus loves you and all that, which is, he probably does. But the thing is, you are loved by someone. And don't go through life. Don't go through that dark period. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is. And I know I know this is implied, but death is not the answer. And you've got to be strong. And there are good things around the bend. There are. You know, even in my darkest time, I would take my wonderful pup, my Basil the Boxer, who would say to me when I was dark, oh, here's a way to get out of the dark times. Get a dog. They don't know dark times. All they know is I want to play, I want to eat, I want to poop, I want to run, I want to have fun. And my dog, at 10 years old, who's had really bad leg problems for almost the past year now, went out last night and ran. And that says everything to you. That says, you know, this doesn't matter. This thing, you have to have a sense of humor with life. You can't take life seriously because life doesn't take you seriously. In the end, life goes, you're gone. Car crash. You ate something bad. It killed you. Most ridiculous things end up taking you out of this world. And that's just the fact of it. So you can't take it serious. You got to enjoy it. You got to laugh. The best investment I ever made was when I moved out as a kid in my 20s, finally moved out of the house. I stayed with my mom a little long, I know. But I finally moved out, to a little duplex in Ventura, which burned to the ground last year, sadly. But moved out. The best thing I did then was buy cable. I bought cable, and I watched Comedy Central nonstop, and it helped me so much. Idiots like this.
Oh my God, no way!
Yes, South Park. And you will respect my authority and all those things.
You will respect my authority!
Made me... I laughed so much.
It's expressed by Rob Black and his...
And I was just... I had enjoyed it. And just disregard that little audio you heard. And to laugh. Learning to laugh at things. Learning to laugh. Big belly laughs. I was like, oh my God, this is what I need. I feel that's better than a workout. That's better than any drug. Laughter is the best medicine. I know that's cliche as well, but it is. It's true. And it makes everything better. Laugh. That's all I'm gonna end the show with laughter. Laughing. And maybe a little bit of canned laughter. Let's open this up. This little bit of canned laughter. Shall we? There we go. Okay, that was annoying, but anywho, so laugh. And enjoy your weekend. And that was what I learned from my 40s, was to laugh. No, wait, I learned that in my 30s. My 40s, I learned, get out of that dark hole. That's right, get out of the dark hole and find the things that make you happy. Oddly enough, radio makes me happy. Podcasting, I started podcasting in my 30s, but I found that made me happy. Dogs make me happy. Positive people make me happy. And you got to do that, and helping people, and and I know it sounds, Mike, that's decadent to just care about only what makes you happy, to be even concerned about. No, that's important. That's got to be top number one. Then you can do all the rest. If you have no health, if you can't get up in the morning and do anything, then how are you going to do something for someone? On it with that. I can't get it. I can't that's, to me, that was profound. I don't know about you. I thought I was at the top of the mountain there.
Oh, my.
Thank you. Okay, so next show it'll be the wonderful Benita, the disgruntled fiddle player, and the brewmaster. And you can contact me, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. I have a phone number, 336-MM-DAILY. That's MM as in Mike Matthews. 336-MM-DAILY. Have a great weekend.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Baby shark. Oh, hey, so the podcast picture is Basil with a cowboy hat on. Yes, we got him a little hat. My lovely lady friend saw the hat at this pet food place, and she got it for him. Thank you so much to my lovely lady friend for Basil's new hat. He looks so cool in it. I will say that pet food place, probably not the best place to get treats, because the treat that we got him, the fish treats, did sick, as I mentioned in a previous podcast. So their stuff may not be the best as far as food goes, but they did have a cute hat. So he got this hat. I think it was on a tremendous discount as well. So a little hat for him, and you can see that picture. It's a cute picture at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST.com.